Stardust has joined us here. If you'd like, yeah, absolutely. Stardust, it's a pleasure to see you.
How do you do, gentlemen?
I'm well. Thank you for joining us. Quite an impression you just made just a few minutes ago.
Well, I made an impression on the floor.
Well, that's all right.
I've already had a word with Mr. Andrews and decided that there might be a lawsuit in his future for having such wet wooden floor.
And honestly, it's not his fault. This is a place that we're just renting for right now.
That's what he said. He tries to pass the blame on to somebody else.
Well,
that's some of the problem with Pro Wrestling Ego. That's why Stardust is here to elevate the talent, make this a better place. People don't realise, you see, they boo me, they insult me, but they don't realise I'm here for their own good. I'm here to make the product better.
Yeah. And I think that you're doing a good job. The photo in the loot case was a bit suspect.
Well, the photo in the loot case, as I say and still maintain, was until Mr. Bubbly destroyed it.
Yeah.
It was valued at over $10,000, and it will only inflate as the inflation rate rises. So too. Will the photograph's value?
Then I'm going to have to go get it out of the trash can because that's where I saw it last.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, I'm going to send Joe over there to take care of that here in just a few minutes.
I autographed the glass, unfortunately.
that's a damn shame.
That member of the Moot Boys, as I like to call them, absolutely destroyed it.
Absolutely.
So, obviously I don't really care about any other wrestlers except Stardust, so do please explain to us what we've got going on here.
Absolutely. Well, coming up right now, we've got, of course, Chuck McMullen making his way in against Joshua O'Hagan.
Ah, yes, Chuck McMullen.
O'Hagan's a new guy here, so we haven't seen him before, but he's already
his cheese is not on his cracker. I'm just going to say about O'Hagan, his cheese is not on his cracker.
I'll be perfectly honest, I'm mostly here so that I can watch Zombie Dragon
and Ray Fury.
Cave Ray Fury's face in.
You think that's going to happen tonight?
I have a strong feeling, mostly because I'm somewhat, and I'm man enough to admit this, I don't think it, in fact I think it takes courage to admit when you're afraid.
Sure.
I am lightly terrified of the left-hand path.
Absolutely, as well you should be. Any man who can control fire and a green mist, as Zombie Dragon does, is not one to be messed with.
Well, absolument, as the French say.
I do have a
that's
question.
the thing I appreciate about the English, is they are refined in the ways of other European cultures, like the French.
Well, I'm English adjacent, you know. The starship travels beyond the Phantom Zone. It's, I consider myself a man of the universe.
As well you should. I could tell by the cape.
Well, absolutely, my galactic
Stardust,
cape.
I do have a question for you.
Well, fire away.
In this angle that you're in over here at Pro Wrestling Ego, what do you have to gain from this? Because I really don't see you putting yourself in a situation where you have nothing to gain.
Well, the Stir Search is all about finding somebody worthy of Stardust's attention. Now, how that manifests, we're going to leave as a mystery, but am I looking for a worthy opponent? Am I looking for a tag team partner? I'm looking for something, and only I know what I'm looking for, and I'll know when I've found it.
Could it be someone to manage?
Quite possibly. I mean, as I say, I've got a ruptured disc. It's very, very real.
Definitely it's not helped by the fall that we had earlier.
That I'm going to have to report to the Brandon Pain Care Management Clinic.
Okay. Quick shout out to the Brandon Pain Care Management Clinic. Circling Super Dave, I wouldn't appreciate that so much.
Got ourselves a little bit of a referee tornado going on there.
Fanning him off, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. It's
a little shiatsu.
Little massage there.
Watch that elbow.
Sure
That's a famous elbow right there, Chuck. Don't do it.
Well, referee health isn't often considered. I mean, they're so fragile. The slightest gust of wind and they'll fall over.
A quick
and they'll
bump
down for 10 minutes.
Chuck is getting a little. Yeah, he got a little friendly there.
A little handsy there. You know, they tell me that this is a PG Christian show, and I can't swear, but he can.
He can slap an ass.
He can sexually assault other wrestlers. Let's be perfectly honest.
It's not nice.
That's not cool.
No.
That's not honest. If there's one thing Stardust doesn't like, it's unwanted sexual shenanigans.
And I could appreciate you using shenanigans rather than tomfoolery, because I don't think that was proper.
And again he goes for that. Very handsy.
Well, so far, we'd like to say Joshua Hagan has made an impression, but I'm not sure what kind of impression.
Well, now they're going.
Chuck.
Well, I was going to quote something from Requiem for a Dream there, but I'm not going to because, again,
The only thing that comes to mind is probably not. Yeah, it's not.
I'll keep that to myself.
Thank
a little
you.
bit of applause, actually.
Yeah.
I'll join in with that. Well done, sir. Well done. Oh, and a tweak.
The bell has rung, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I do believe that this is a wrestling match of
Yeah.
some kind.
Hey, Tank, do me a favor. Tag in Joe and let him get over here.
Out. That's some definite. That's mind games. Oh, the crane
little-
kick preparing there.
Put him in a body bag, Johnny.
You see, I'm not just a colour commentator, although
Yep.
I'm a very colourful commentator.
You are, quite.
But I consider myself quite adequate at play-by-play as well.
And now there's a
recognise crane
tickle
kick.
fest going on.
Yes.
This is not. Listen, I'm all for fun.
If Stardust back was working correctly, I'd get in there and show them how a real match is fought.
I believe you would.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs to know what a winner looks like.
Stardust, since we have you here, who would you equate your wrestling style to as far as wrestlers of the past and present?
Well, some people would say that I'm a D-list YouTuber with a derivative gimmick.
I would never call you that.
I don't think you would. You seem like a very intelligent man who
I
gets things
try.
correct.
Thank you.
But I will admit that there are some similarities to some other wrestlers.
Yeah.
In many ways, I like to consider myself the Lost Roads. I
My
combine
heavens.
the bizarreness of Goldust,
Yeah.
the charm of Cody Rhodes,
He is quite dashing, some would say.
and the body of Dusty.
Well, you know what? It's not a bad thing because he was the son of a plumber, and Dusty is much loved, especially here in the South, which you're finding yourself in now. You know, that's.
Absolutely. I mean, some fans shout out that Cody wants his gimmick back. I contest he really doesn't.
No, he really doesn't.
I think the American Nightmare is doing just fine with the gimmick
he has
right now.
no problems.
Actually.
If we could make that kind of money that Cody is now making just on merchandise alone, I think all of us would be happier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm doing fine. I mean, I know that you are probably
Well, you know, we struggle a bit.
cash poor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens. It's all right. We do it for the love, not for the cash.
Sure, sure.
That's what I tell myself every night as I cry on my pillow.
I mean, that's why
There's
I
love
come and
involved?
do these shows for free.
There is no love involved in this
Didn't know
job.
there was love involved.
No, there's not. Hey, supposedly there's a wrestling match going on in the ring.
Yeah, so far I've not seen much.
A moment ago,
much combat.
Joshua O'Hagan was massaging nothing.
Oh,
I
there's a
did
pin
see that.
attempt.
It's-
No,
nope.
one count there.
One at a time, really.
I mean, we can't get greedy over here. Wouldn't do us any good.
It's very important to limber up. I know that there's a lot of limbering going on. They do. One thing
limber
that's not
match.
emphasized enough is how you got to do your stretches.
Calisthenics
and
and yoga, DDP
blood
yoga,
flow.
if
Oh,
we want to get
absolutely.
into that.
Well, I mean, with my ruptured back, I don't know if I've mentioned that I've got a ruptured disc in my back.
A couple of times.
But DDP yoga has been recommended to me, and I would love to go to his house for a free sesh.
I don't think-
hear he does them free at his house.
He does, yep.
Yeah.
Over at the, he's got a performance center out there in Atlanta, Georgia. And I
That's
definitely
not too
think
far
that,
away.
No, quick jump as it were. O'Hagan shining up Chuck's head. Those gyrations are not family friendly.
I'm a fan of showmanship. My manager, Jim Sterling, is the greatest showman in games media, but
Absolutely, the Jimquisition.
yes, the
Yep.
Jimquisition, you could quite possibly have too much of a good thing, and
If that is a good thing.
well,
What was just in the ring,
it's
I cannot
debatable,
qualify.
quite possibly.
You know, you bring up Jim Sterling, your manager. Jim has been seen all throughout the interwebs with his YouTube channel, with his podcast. How did you and Jim come to garner each other's attention?
Well, we have a very complex relationship. You see, Jim Sterling is my manager,
Yeah.
my client, my alter ego, and a completely different person.
Absolutely.
So it's a very complex thing. There's a lot of lore. We've actually written a show Bible once we do the miniseries.
Congratulations.
Which we're hoping to run by HBO.
Mazel tov, yeah.
It'll be based on the book that I'm bringing out. It's an erotic thriller called 50 Shades of Purple.
My God. If we could just have a sample chapter sent over to the podcast, we'd be happy to
Yes,
read it
I mean,
sometime.
It leaves little to the imagination, quite like my spandex.
I kind of imagined that might be the case.
Might not be able to read it out on this show.
Quick pin attempt by O'Hagan. And a slam right there for Chuck. Chuck still good. Another arm drag.
Too busy celebrating, and he didn't scout the arm drag.
Another arm drag. Another arm drag.
A bit of an arm drag trade-off there.
It's an arm drag party, perhaps.
And
Little child getting way too
Sometimes an
close.
arm drag is worth celebrating.
Little child getting way. There we go. All right.
well, he thinks it's wrestling.
At least somebody does.
He's excited about it. It's great.
Good for him.
Yep.
I mean,
Positive
it's
Sometimes
attitude.
if you can't get the cheers you want, you just make them yourself.
That's the way I like to think. I mean, my approach, especially when I'm in Byram, is if I'm having fun, then who the heck cares about the rest of them, you know?
They don't even care.
I got to say
No.
that's been evident just by
In
watching
Byram,
your
yeah.
work tonight.
Hey, Joe, quick question. How is Byram spelled?
It's with several letters.
Okay, great.
Mostly in English.
S-H... Well, it's
No.
PG show.
Well, that is, we're
you're right.
rarely PG over here. We're more PG-13 to R adjacent. Oh, my, a stiff kick to the midsection of Chuck right there.
I'll tell you what, on Byram, there's no U involved,
Nope, absolutely not.
but there are other vowels.
A couple of them. Chuck
Sometimes vowels.
putting O'Hagan into the corner. Stiff elbows to the chin.
Ultimately, though, I mean, who really needs to spell Byram?
I mean, the Deer can't spell, and the Deer pretty much overrun this place and Pearl, Mississippi, so I'm not worried about it. High butt to the chest of O'Hagan, and a stiff kick to the chin right there.
Nice.
Pin attempt. 2.5.
That was close.
Stardust has got a little fan over here. Nice bridge.
Still not enough for the full
Nope.
pin there. Everything I know about wrestling, I know from video games, and they have taught me that you need to get a 3 count, if I'm correct.
And you have to
3 count
rotate the
win.
thumbsticks in opposite positions to highlight that narrow window.
Yeah, that might be
down,
why
A,
they're
B.
not winning.
No, that's
Right,
the
yeah.
Konami code.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's to get you unlimited lives on Strider.
And if you use the Konami code, especially per Pro Wrestling Ego rules, you will get disqualified.
I've heard that. Jay has told me as much. Speaking of video games and wrestling video games, Stardust, what was your thoughts on 2K18 that just came out?
I've never uninstalled a game so quickly.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I tried.
I played Never Dead by Konami.
My God.
I've played the new Dynasty Warriors 9, which I'm actually under embargo today, but by the time this comes out, I won't be, so I can
Right,
tell you right
please.
now, it's utter crap.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. I'm doing a little Monster Hunter World right now.
Very nice.
Enjoying
very
that one.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the former Destiny players are moving on to Monster Hunter World.
As well they should.
Yes, I moved on to Warframe personally.
I've heard good things about that one.
Oh, well, I mean, you can make any character you want bright pink and purple, so
And why
it's
not?
a Stardust kind of
Exactly.
game, baby.
It's just a wet dream. We're
Yes,
rowing
it is.
we're rowing the boat.
Throwing Chuck all the way home.
Joshua O'Hagan is an odd character.
That he is.
He's getting the crowd behind Chuck right now.
It's an unorthodox style to get the crowd to cheer for your opponent.
It's
I think he noticed the prevailing wind was for Chuck, and he's just
Chuck with a hard
just
clothesline.
riding with it.
Very stiff there. And another one. Oof.
Nice lariat there.
Oh, and a big kick. O'Hagan
Still on
still
his feet.
barely. There we go. Fisherman's.
Suplex.
Very nicely done.
Is it enough though?
1, 2.
I think if
No.
Dave would have
Well,
gotten
put
in
away.
place in position on time on
You know,
that,
God
I'd
bless
actually
Super
got that.
Dave. Let it never be said that the man doesn't get into his work.
Never.
Never.
I should point out that obviously I feel for Chuck having lost his family, his brotherhood.
Right.
I actually had to reapply my paint at the beginning of the show because the funeral.
From the tears.
I mean,
Yeah.
even now I'm
I can see it.
welling up. welling up. The pathetic state of Shaky McMullen.
There's the 3 count.
There we go. Sorry.
O'Hagan with the win. He's in a little bit of pain. Lower back pain. Our guest Stardust
I can relate.
relate to that.
My heart goes out to him. But hey, he won.
Absolutely.
Get a nice pack on that and celebrate the sweet, sweet victory.
Asking for a little rub from Super Dave.
And another loss there for former boot boy.
Stardust, if people want to get a hold of you on the social media, they can get a hold of Jim all day long on all his media outlets. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, if you just Google the word Jim, you'll find Jim Sterling.
Jim Sterling pops right up. Yep.
You can follow
Nice
me
ring.
on my own Twitter @TheStardust.
Right.
share my
Hashtag
thoughts.
Stir Search.
Hashtag Stir Search, hashtag Sturgazers.
Right.
That's the name of my loyal fans, many of which were
Quite a
cheering and
few.
applauding me tonight.
We've met quite a few of your fans on our YouTube site,
Wonderful,
and
wonderful.
quite engaging group of people.
Little time for some celebration there.
I think he's about to, yep, there he goes.
There we go.
B-boy
Wonderful.
style. My goodness.
He's almost as good as me at that.
And the guy just wrestled a match and
Yeah.
was still able to pull out a windmill.
I mean, with that lumbar pain he was exhibiting, to be able to do that is just, and there we go.
That's a bit of
very. He's got some hang time on that.
We're going to have to find out more about Joshua O'Hagan, hopefully in the near future.